Now, I'm decided to do this live stream to celebrate the fact that I have nearly got 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube page. So, what I'm going to do is just do this little chat, and you can ask me any questions. And hi. So you can ask me any questions, though nothing too personal and nothing too offensive, okay? Hi. Sonic and Tails X. A Gamer Lord 1000. Tech Snake. Hey, Quirky! So, you guys got any questions? Next gen. What do you mean by next gen? Next Gen is a Netflix movie? Sorry, I've never heard of it. Don't really do much Netflix. Thomas. Yeah, that's nice. Like Thomas. No. What do you think of Big World, Big Adventures? Boy, have I been asked that question so many times. If you were a potato, what kind of potato would you be? A potato. One I can peel, one I can slice and dice and turn into mashed potatoes. What do you think of MLP Season 8 so far? Well, I really like it. Well, it hasn't really ended yet, or with all the leaks. And, well, it's not as good as Season 7 in my eyes, but it's still really good. I mean, one thing, I really like the Student 6. They're really interesting characters. I like all of them. Yona, Smolder, Gallus, Silverstream, they're all enjoyable. They have their own unique personality, and they're all really lovable. Yeah, especially Gallus, the Heartswarming Club, when we get to hear what he and the other Griffins do during Heartswarming Eve. It's really, really, you feel really sympathetic for him. He felt like he didn't belong, and he caused the incident in the episode just to stay with his only friends a little longer. That's really, you really do feel sorry for him. Oh, so season 8 is really good. It's got a few good episodes, but then there are a few episodes that I'm not really that big of a fan of, like the non-compete clause. Not really a big fan of that one. Now, someone can tell. Would you rather question? Would you rather be Scottish or Australian? Well, I don't know about living as Scottish or Australian, but which accent? Definitely Scottish. Oh, it's just a really fun accent to imitate. It's just really enjoyable. I really like really, really like it. It's just really top notch. Yeah, they're really fun to imitate. It's just so enjoyable. I don't know what else to say. Do you know about VeggieTales? Yes, I do, but I don't really watch it. I'm not literally on the road. Yeah, that's a Wii U. Ruben, that is a Wii U. I have no idea why I bought it. Oh, yeah, right. So I can play my Wii games again. Yeah, story. My original Nintendo Wii, it malfunctioned and it couldn't play any games. It couldn't read any discs. So a few years later, um, I was deciding what to have for my birthday, and I decided, why not a Wii U? So I can play the old games again. I really like playing most of those and playing this. But then, when they announced stuff for the Switch, like Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and especially Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, now it's making me regret buying this thing. There are so many great games coming for the Switch, or already out for the Switch, that I just feel like I've made a wrong decision, really. Yeah, speaking of Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm not really. I haven't really played any Smash Bros. Games, but. God, Ultimate is really, really great. Just by looking at it. There are so many improvements, so many fighters, so many stages, things that fans have wanted for years. Ridley, King K. Rool, Wolf, Toon Link, all of these stages, all of these fighters, turning the stage hazards off. You can morph the stages, you can listen to the music on the go like an iPod. Let's see. What do you think of the new Ghostbusters? Uh, 50-50, I think. You mean the 2016 movie with Melissa McCarthy? It's really split on it, really. Don't really know what to make. Have you seen the new season of Thomas and Friends? Yes, season 22. I've originally watched the Italian versions of the episodes. I have no idea why, since I couldn't understand Italian, but just by looking at it in Italian, it's really not that good. I'm so sorry. I know that for some reason there are people who really like season 22 and Big World Big Adventures, but I just don't understand why. It's just not that enjoyable in the slightest. Wait a minute, it stopped. Can you all hear me? It stopped for a bit. The picture is frozen. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Can you see anything on the screen? It's frozen where I am. Okay, okay, it's back. Okay. where was I? Season 22, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan on it at all. I mean, the the bouncing animation on the engines, I've kinda slightly gotten used to it. Can't believe I just said that, but there are lots of other things that I don't really like, particularly visually. Like, all of these jokes and gags they do in the background or even in the foreground, where, um, I noticed especially in, um, how Rebecca does it, or whatever the episode's called. You got Harvey swinging his crane arm around like a top, like it ain't no thing, and you got Marion unintentionally digging up a workman on the bank and drowning in the mud she dug up, and after she let him go, you can see the workman brushing off the dirt on his sandwich he was eating, and then you actually see him about to eat the sandwich after dusting it off, but then it cuts to Rebecca. And what especially ticks me off about season 22 is most definitely all of those fantasy sequences, those dream sequences. It's just so weird, wacky, and it's really unsuitable for the series. I don't care if it's for kids, I don't really care if they're not real, but the fact that the animators or the story artists or whoever, the fact that they even came up with these, it's just really not that great. I mean, Gordon going through a fantasy land and driving on a railway rainbow road, seeing the engines flying over the tracks, over the moon, flying in a formation like a stunt airplane show, and especially Rebecca, with all of these gadgets and tools built onto her, like she's some kind of hybrid mutation thing. Diesel 10's claw, Harvey's crane arm, Bell's water cannons. It's just so not Thomas. It is not Thomas, okay? Yeah, like I said earlier, I plan to do a full review on Big World Big Adventures and thoughts on season 22 once all of it is aired, and a few months from now once it's all available. But for now, I'm really not that big of a fan of it. So let's see, questions. Quirky, who is your favorite main six horse? Is that the £1,000,000 question? I can't pick one. Twilight? Maybe? Oh no, I just seem to have Tower Strong on my mind. What about Waluigi? Yeah, I heard loads of fans were distraught and upset that Waluigi still isn't a fighter in Smash Bros. Ultimate. But at least be glad that he's still in the game and that they didn't forget about him. It's like the case with Shovel Knight. A lot of people and fans of the games have wanted Shovel Knight to be a fighter, but when they saw the latest directs, they found that he was an assist trophy instead of a fighter. But I'm at least glad that Sakurai and the others acknowledged Shovel Knight and that they know that he exists. Yeah. Yeah, and just heads up, um, and with all of this stuff about the leaks and stuff, with Shadow and Gino and Banjo and Kazooie being fighters and Echo fighters and stuff, I'm trying to ignore them as best I can, but at the moment I'm not really believing them. But we'll just have to see what Sakurai shows us. If Shadow and the others are being fighters and Echo fighters, or well, I mean, there were leaks before that King K. Rool and Simon Belmont were going to be fighters. They were leaks, and guess what? Simon and King K. Rool are fighters in Ultimate. So at the moment, I'm not really paying attention or not really believing in those leaks and rumors. So have you ever played a Ratchet and Clank game? No, I haven't. So, did you enjoy the summer holidays? What did you do? Well, actually, I didn't really do much except for editing videos and stuff for DeviantArt and stuff. Um, this is kind of a yearly thing with my family. My mum and dad, they go away in the motorhome for a couple of weeks with the dogs, and I stay behind at home to look after the chickens in the garden. God, you know, someone's got to look after them, make sure they don't starve or thirst. Same with the cats here. So, didn't really go anywhere, though I am going to be going away on holiday in a few weeks. Um, from the 26th of September, I'm going to be on a family cruise, uh, mainly just to celebrate my birthday on the day before we head back. We come back on the 4th of October, and my birthday's on the 3rd, so we celebrate on the final day. So, so unfortunately, you won't be seeing much of me for the next 1 or 2 weeks when that happens, from the 26th. Let's see. Josh Ball, uh, Robbie Rotten. It's really sad that the actor for Robbie Rotten passed away quite recently. Still listening to We Are Number One as a tribute. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Sorry, I don't. Questions. What do you think of new seasons of Fireman Sam? Still not watching new Fireman Sam. I mean, after the stuff I explained in the Fireman Sam video of mine, I don't see much improvements. I mean, sure, the writing is a bit different and the animation is a bit higher quality, but really not that big of a fan of it, so I'm not really watching Fireman Sam. It doesn't mean I won't start watching the first 5 seasons of Fireman Sam. I mean, I can watch them for eternity for all I care. Same with other shows I've mentioned. But, not gonna be watching season 6 or any further seasons. Are you a fan of Electric Light Orchestra? ELO. Well, not really a fan of them, but the only song I seem to like listening from them is Mr. Blue Sky. Yeah, I remember I first heard of that song during um, the Magic Roundabout movie from 2005. Does anyone remember that? I still have the DVD for it over there. Does anyone remember the Magic Roundabout movie? This one? Focus. Here we go. Does anyone remember this? That's where I first heard Mr. Blue Sky that I mentioned. Never watched it. Okay. Let's see. Are you a fan of Fireman Sam? Only the first 5 seasons. What do you think of the Thomas fandom? The only thing that springs into my mind when I hear about the Thomas fandom is the creative collective on the main Thomas channel. And the people over there, they really do some really, really great animations and editing. That they definitely do things that I definitely wouldn't do. At least not on this iPad. I don't usually watch them, but I really do appreciate the hard work and things that they do into this creative collective series. And but aside from that, I'm not really sure what to make of the Thomas fandom as a whole. Hello, James. I'm your biggest fan. Nice to know, John the Midland Engine. Have you ever heard of Beano and Dandy comics? I've only heard of Beano, and I've never really read those. The closest thing that I've ever gone to seeing anything of Beano are those Dennis the Menace cartoons that I watch on the slight bored occasion. Have you ever played Roblox? No, I haven't. Have you watched Thomas the Tank Engine Project G1? Yes, I have. Um, it's quite a good sequel to Shed 17, actually. Um, you know, there were quite a few things I liked about the project. I felt the heartbreaking tragedy of Annie burning in front of Diesel's eyes, and I could really feel Thomas's pain at the end of the film, where the mutation thing of his friends felt dies, and I could really feel Thomas's pain afterwards. The G1 is quite a good sequel to Shed 17. What are your thoughts on the live-action Thunderbirds movie released in 2004? Well, I know there are a lot of fans of the original Thunderbirds that really didn't like this movie. But I watched the movie on DVD as a child back in the day, 2004. And I actually really liked the movie back then. Mainly just for seeing live action CGI recreations of the launching sequences from the original series, or the redesigns of the Thunderbirds um, machines. As a kid, I don't really pay much attention to the story or don't really look out for plot holes and things. And I can see why Thunderbirds fans are not a fan of the movie now. Now, nearly 15 years later, I did rewatch the movie about a few years ago, and I still kind of like the movie. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, yeah. Do you read the MLP comics? If so, which one is your favorite? I don't really read the MLP comics, I'm afraid. Have you ever seen actual footage of Thomas season 22? Yes, I have. All throughout this week. I have access to Demand 5 on my Xbox 360. Have you seen old Fireman Sam? Yes, of course I have. All throughout my childhood. Your reboot rants are hilarious. Are they? People's opinions. What is your favorite food? At the moment, I'm gonna go with gammon steaks. Um, Gammon steaks. Quirky. If the rainbow went into the swing of things, then does Harry Potter wear a fedora? Moving on. I remember the Magic Roundabout, or as we Americans call it, Dougal. Yeah, I have heard of the American remake of the Magic Roundabout, Dougal, and I heard that it's much worse when comparing the two. I mean, loads of unnecessary pop culture references, like referencing Ice Age 2, and what was that? I heard that Butch Hartman was involved in this. The guy behind the Fairly Odd Parents, I heard that he was involved in it. But yeah, I have seen a few clips of the Dougal movie, and after watching the original Magic Roundabout so many times as a kid, I can see that the Dougal movie is much worse. Have you watched the new Thomas episode Forever and Ever? Yes, I have. Uh, yeah, yeah. Gordon is most obviously a metaphor for what the entire Thomas fandom thinks of all of these changes, like Emily and Henry leaving the sheds and Nia and Rebecca taking their place. Yeah, I don't know what to make of Gordon representing the fandom like it is. Now, I do understand his sadness and anger in the episode, but as the Fat Controller says in the episode, it's really unlike Gordon to act like this. And Nia saying that change can be good sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Not every time. What? Wilder Wonka. Hi. Have you seen ITVB's new preschool blog, Little Bee? It has shows like Engie Benji and Sooty. Little Bee, is that recent? Is that on ITVB right now? I haven't heard of it, but yeah, Engie Benji and Sooty. They're still showing Engie Benji? I thought it suffered the same fate as shows like Jungle Run, where they're not showing it anymore. Yeah, I do remember watching Engie Benji back in the day. I was bored, okay? What's your favourite season of Bob the Builder from 1 to 9? Oh, you mean the seasons before Project Build It? I don't really have a favourite season because I really don't know which episodes are in which season. I can't really choose a favourite, honestly. Hi, the famous Hector. Hi. Do you read Marvel or DC comics? I honestly don't read any comics. If so, who are your favorite heroes? I don't know, Deadpool. Yeah, I can't really think of anything, so Deadpool. Have you seen Go Busters? No, I haven't really seen much of Go Buster, but yeah, I haven't seen Go Busters, which is weird because I've seen all of Gokaiger, Tokyuger, and Koyuger at some point. Well, I don't know why I skipped Go Busters. Though I am excited what they're gonna do in Beast Morphers. If the writing's gonna be any better, what they're gonna change, what they're gonna keep from Go Busters, and probably see if it's better than any of the more recent seasons of Power Rangers. Can you do a face reveal? No, sorry, not anytime soon. What is your favorite class of steam engine? Mine is the JWR King class. Favorite class? I don't really know for sure, but so at the moment I'm gonna say Mallard's design. So You deserve 50... Oh yeah, it says 50 million subs. Do you mean 50k subs? Well, either way, thanks. Your No Joke for James and Trust Thomas redubs are amazing. It's really weird when people say that my older projects are amazing. Or any of my projects are amazing. Yeah, I'm one of those people where, well, I'm not really, I'm really not a fan of my older videos. I mean, my earliest videos, I don't want to watch any of them. Those redubs I made, I don't know what to make of those redubs. I could have gotten better with those redubs, like I've done in the Mind That Bike redub I did. I probably would have used jokes that would be more fitting with the series, not just putting in random pop culture references and things. Do you like The Animals of Farthing Wood? I haven't watched a full episode of that series, but I have heard of how unexpectedly dark and scary it is, how gory it is. Like, on-screen deaths and blood in a show for CBBC. That's just... what came up with that? By 50 M subs, I meant 50 million subs. Well, I'm not sure about that. Huh. Let's see. How many VHS and DVDs do you have? Well, I don't have any of my VHS tapes anymore. My parents got rid of them a long time ago just to get with the times and go with discs instead of tapes. But I do have quite a lot of DVDs. About roughly 50? It would take too long for me to count them now. I've got quite a variety of DVDs here. I've got a few Pixar films, DreamWorks films. I got the whole Blackadder series here. A few Doctor Who DVDs, modern and classic. Got at least 6 Power Rangers DVDs. Quite a few Thomas ones, though the Thomas DVDs I have are from season 8, so I've got Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the Transformers 1986 movie, the first 3 Michael Bay Transformers movies, Stuart Little, the first 3 Wallace and Gromit shorts, Liar Liar, Jackass the movie, and strangely enough, I've got the Cat in the Hat movie on DVD. Yeah, my thoughts on movies and things as a kid is basically I like everything I see on screen. I can't see any problems. That's how messed up I was. what's your favorite Sooty series? Um, by now, I'm watching quite a lot of the 80s series of the Sooty show with Matthew Corbett. I really like those episodes. Um, I haven't watched much of Sooty and Co. besides from the first episode I had on a VHS I had way back. Um, so I now I'm gonna say the 80s series, though I don't know what I haven't don't know what to say about Sooty and Co. right now. Have you watched the Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel episode Dimensions in Danger? Yes, I have. Yeah, Dimensions in Danger, it's a massive step up from Legendary Battle, obviously. Yeah, I mean, for one thing, the writers actually did their research this time. They they actually acknowledged the events that happened in RPM. They acknowledged that it takes place in a different universe, along with a dino charge. They Tommy uses the invisibility power from the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, and they acknowledge nearly all of the forms he's had, and there were much better fight scenes, a lot more screen time from all the actors. I felt as if hardly any of them got. Uh, I think all of them had a fair amount of screen time and dialogue this time. And I really did like the fight with Tommy and the robotic clone of him. And I think the cracked Black Ranger helmet, it just looks great. It's awesome. Love seeing things like that. It just looks so badass to me. So Dimensions in Danger, it's as I predicted, it actually is better than Once a Ranger and the whole of Super Megaforce combined. Do you remember the Hoobs? Yes, I do. I remember a period in time a few years ago where I used to watch the Hoobs on Channel 4 very early in the morning for really no reason. I just felt like watching it, along with the Treacle people as well. Though I watch more of the Hoobs. The show is quite good, I think. Yeah, I do like me some Jim Henson. What are your thoughts on the 2017 Power Rangers movie? Okay, the majority of it I found it a bit boring. Yeah, the movie could have been a lot better. I mean, it's a common problem with movies and advertising it nowadays. With the Power Rangers movie, all of the advertising for the movie showcases the Rangers in the suits fighting the movie's version of the Putties, fighting Rita in the Megazord. But yeah, that doesn't happen until the final 15 minutes of this 2-hour movie. And I don't get why advertising does that. Why do they advertise the things that don't happen until the final climax of the movie, the final 15 minutes of the movie. I don't get that. Yeah, it's pretty much telling you, oh yeah, the best bits of the movie are at the very end. And I'm afraid you're gonna have to sit through a massive block of filler and boredom just to get to the best bits that we advertise for you. Are you Hunter Strider? You sound exactly like him. Phantom Strider, you mean? I really can't see a connection between me and him. I mean, how exactly do I sound like him? I I really can't see a connection. I don't see how we both sound similar. I mean, for one thing, I don't have an Australian accent. Have you heard of Hot Diggity Demon, Pie Guy Rules, Phantom Strider, or Amber the Fangirl? I've heard of all of them except for Amber the Fangirl. Do you remember the Rubber Dubbers? Yes, I do. Stop asking questions twice. Well, sorry, I don't really have a script in front of me, so this is all unscripted, so sorry if I'm explaining things twice, but that's what happens when you're doing something unscripted, I'm afraid. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? No, I don't. What do you think of Mike the Knight? Yeah, I remember watching Mike the Knight on CBeebies a few years ago, just because, and I wasn't really that big of a fan of it then. I mean, there's not really that much that really interested me about that series. I mean, it didn't really hit me as much. I mean, as much as shows like, say, Quiz or Iconicals. If anyone remember those, if anyone remembers those shows. Your thoughts on Gundam build drivers? I don't watch Gundam, I'm afraid. MLP cuteness. Hi. Let's see. Is Big World Big Adventures worse than Misty Island Rescue? Oh god. Well, this is all coming down from my first opinions of watching Big World Big Adventures compared to the first time I watched Misty Island Rescue. I mean, sure, Misty Island Rescue does have a lot of rhyming and alliteration and things. I mean, you could almost mistake it for a Dr. Seuss production. Yeah, the logging locos can be really annoying, Ferdinand especially. And there just so happens to be a tunnel on the island that leads to another island. Traveling through the sea and to another island that's suddenly there. But Big World Big Adventures, I really don't know if it's worse than Misty Island Rescue. I mean, I haven't watched Misty Island Rescue in a while. A long while. But from all the things I've seen of Big World Big Adventures, it's completely unrealistic. There's loads of plot holes. Lots of things that would have been a lot better or not done, period. So, at the moment, this is not a final opinion. For the moment, I'm going to say Big World Big Adventures. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Gamerlord 1000. I'm not frozen at the moment. It's just my iPad is on a stand right now. It's just sitting still in one place. How are you, James? I'm doing fine at the moment, thanks. Hill went steeper and steeper, the 90-degree angle crashing down to the ground. I adore that line. I'm glad that you enjoyed that line. And I didn't know where I came up with that line either. But 1 minute I can't think of anything, but then a few seconds later, I just thought the exact thing to write in the script. I don't know why I come up with it. More questions. What are your thoughts on the Nostalgia Critic? Yeah, he's quite good at the moment. I mean, say what you will about him, but at the moment I'm still watching his reviews every week. Do you think Diesel 10 needs to appear in a normal episode? Well, considering the comments I've seen recently on what Rebecca does, where the dream sequence she had, it featured Rebecca with Diesel 10's claw, and people were asking when in the episode she met Diesel 10 because that was how she would be able to think of the claw. Well, if that opportunity would be believed, I think it would have been that episode, just to make something make sense. It's because you are creative and descriptive. If you want to, you can become an author. No thanks. I'm not really the author type. I'd rather be editing videos, thanks. Who's your male and female characters from Fireman Sam? I think you might be asking my favorite ones. My favorite female character from Fireman Sam? I would have to say either. I'm gonna go with firefighter Penny Morris, my favorite female character from that series. My favorite male character. I really don't know. I would say Station Officer Steele or Trevor Evans. You know, you asked if anyone found the VCI intro creepy. Well, you're not the only one to think of that. Yeah, there were some logos from VHS tapes from what I watched as a kid that I found quite creepy. Like, yeah, there are a few I can name. The Castle Vision logo at the start of a specific Tugs VHS I owned. I found that a bit creepy. What is your all-time favorite SpongeBob episode? Oh, Lord, I have so many. At the moment, I'm gonna say chocolate with nuts. What is your opinion on season 7 of Thomas? Well, it's honestly my least favorite season. My least favorite season of the classic era of the show. I mean, Michael Angelis' narration was starting to go downhill, and the stories weren't really as interesting as in previous seasons. But I'm not saying it's all bad, really. I mean, there are good episodes in there. I like the characters that the season introduced, like Murdoch and Fergus. Do you watch South Park or Jeremy Kyle? No, I don't really watch South Park. I'm not really that big of a fan. Sorry. Jeremy Kyle. Um, my my parents watch it on the TV during the mornings, and yeah, I don't mind Jeremy Kyle. I don't mind watching it out of pure boredom. Do you watch Super Wings? No, I don't. It's been over an hour already. Best Dragon. At the moment, I'm going to say Dragon Lord Ember. 17 likes. It's interesting that you are reading my comments straight away as I'm watching this live stream right now. Yeah, yeah, I don't know if there is some kind of, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. What's your favorite season of Thomas? I would have to say either seasons 2, 4, or 5. At the moment, I'm gonna go with 2, season 2. Do you watch Dragon Tales? No, I don't. Have you seen the trap state of Nick Jr. and even worse state of Disney Jr.? No, I haven't watched either of those channels in a long while. I don't know what those channels are doing. I don't know if they've gotten worse. All I can remember about Nick Jr. is when I watched it years ago for no reason. Season 5 is trash. People's opinions. I don't really find... I can't really find anything bad about Season 5, honestly. Although some people might question the Boulder episode, Rusty and the Boulder. Do you watch The Simpsons? Yeah, I used to watch it quite a while ago. I used to watch it every weekday. 6 p.m. Channel 4. Either when I'm having my dinner or doing something else. I don't really watch it now because I'm mostly on the internet. Did you watch Little Bill? No, not really. Can you make a Thomas fan series? No, not really, no. No, I'm doing random things as I go along. Right now, I'm focusing on the Pony Thoughts series, but as of this very moment, I'm working my ass off on this Lego Dimensions video I have planned. And I'm going to be uploading it as soon as we hit 50,000. People have been asking when the video's going to come out, and if you want to see the video, then we must reach 50,000, I'm afraid. I'll upload it sometime afterwards. What is your best to worst Thomas specials? The best specials, it's obviously a tie between The Adventure Begins and Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. It's a tie between them both. And worst, as I say, it's another tie between Misty Island Rescue and Big World Big Adventures, I'm afraid. If you have an MLP OC, do you have a Thomas OC? No, I don't, and I don't really plan to make one. Why are people still asking me if I've watched VeggieTales? I've never watched VeggieTales. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never really watched it. Uh, Hi there, Duck the number 8 GWR and Piranha, very long channel name. What is your opinion on season 8 to 12 of Thomas? Uh, well, this might be a really unpopular opinion, but I actually might think that seasons um 9 to 11, I think they might, this might be a very, very unpopular opinion, but I think seasons 9 to 11 might actually be a bit worse than the CGI Sharon Miller seasons. Yeah, I know, it's blasphemy, but I mean, when those seasons keeps using the exact same model work, the exact same narration, and almost the exact same plot lines in every single episode, it gets boring, and most of the time you can't even tell which episode is from which season. I mean, I wouldn't have never known that the episode Dream On was from season 11 unless someone told me. I mean, I'm. All of you might think that I'm an arsehole for saying it, but at least with the Sharon Miller CGI seasons, there were a few things that made it the tiniest bit more interesting than the seasons 9 to 11. The CGI animation was a nice change of pace. Um, the fact that they have a full voice cast is interesting. Sure, the stories were worse, but at least they looked more interesting. And it's certainly more interesting than the exact same model work that they used in seasons 9 to 11. As for season 12, it's hit or miss, really. Do you watch Maya the Bee? No, I don't. See if there's any questions. Oh, have you heard of the reboot for Blue's Clues? Yeah, I heard that's happening, and I've heard that John Cena was going to be auditioned as the host of the show or something like that. Yeah, would you believe it? John Cena of all people. And sir, the obviously outdated meme here. Oh god, this is a question. What is your favorite video you did in the past? I really can't really think of many. Gonna have to look back. I I kind of have a soft spot for the Mind That Bike remake I made. And I think I did pretty good editing on that one. I really don't have a favorite video from back during the period when I first started, like, well over 4 years ago, I definitely don't have a favorite with those ones. But in the past 2 or so years, my favorite videos I made, just skimming through the videos here. I think a few of those Honest Trailer parody videos I did, mainly the Equestria Girls ones I made. I particularly remember the one I made for Legend of Everfree, where I also featured a little animated section starring Wubcake. That was one of my first times collaborating with her and for a project. I think it turned out very well. Anyway, moving on. Searching for videos will take too long. Have you seen Adventure Time? Well, I did. At one point earlier, I did start watching Adventure Time, first season, but it didn't really interest me, Adventure Time. I've heard people saying that it's great, revolutionary, one of the best shows on Cartoon Network, but I didn't really get that opinion after watching a few episodes of the first season of the show. I didn't really get that. Yeah, and I did hear that Adventure Time had recently ended. Come along with me. The only thing I have, the closest thing I've ever watched related to Adventure Time, the only thing that's close enough is the Adventure Time content in LEGO Dimensions, which isn't much, but at least it's something. What is your favorite episode of Fireman Sam and your favorite episode of Nordy's Toyland Adventures? You see, I really can't form a favorite episode. I mean, all of those classic episodes, they're all equally enjoyable, and I really can't choose a favorite. Because mostly, in the cases of shows like Classic Fireman Sam and Classic Noddy, there are not many other people who say which one of those episodes are their favorites. I don't really see a lot of people who watch Fireman Sam. I don't really see many of those people stating their favorite episodes. So I can't really form a favorite. I can't really form a favorite. What show did you enjoy more of? The Tweenies or the Teletubbies? I remember equally enjoying them both when I watched them on videotape years ago. But according to more recent opinions, I'm gonna have to say. At the moment, I'm gonna go with the Tweenies. I don't really know why. It's a bit. Tweenies is a bit loud and a bit fast paced, and it's obviously more suited to the CBBS audience, but it's a bit more interesting, tiny bit more interesting than Teletubbies when I'm seeing it from recent opinions of mine. I mean, as I've said, I watched both of the Teletubbies videotapes that I watched as a kid, and my opinions on those videotapes, it's obviously changed. I remember watching those videotapes a lot when I was a kid, but it's one of those rare instances that the things I've watched on videotape have changed nowadays. I'm not really that enjoyed or interested in the stuff that they've put in those videotapes. I might do a video later on in the future where I watch those videotapes again and show you exactly my opinions on it, like I did with the Thomas Season 7 DVD thing video. I might do that for both Teletubbies videotapes. But right now, I'm doing that sort of thing on a classic Casper the Friendly Ghost videotape I owned, and a classic American Dennis the Menace videotape. I'm planning on doing those sort of videos for those two. I might do Teletubbies later on. What are you going to do? Oh, right. What are you going to do if the MLP show ends? I really don't know. I can't really see into the future. In fact, nobody can. But it would depend on what's really on air at the moment in 2019, late 2019. I mean, if Thomas and Friends manages to make enough money to keep going despite all of the bullcrap season 22 has made, or if DuckTales would go on for a third season, or if Power Rangers, if those future seasons of Power Rangers is anything interesting, or maybe anything else. But as for MLP, I might tune into Generation 5 and see if it's any good. I don't know if Generation 5 will return to the girl show roots of Generation 3, or if it will do something very similar in mind of what Friendship is Magic did, similar to the vision Lauren Faust had for the show when making it. But I'll have to see. And there are some cases where some shows have ended years ago, like Danny Phantom and Teen Titans, and yet there are still fan bases for Teen Titans and Danny Phantom nowadays. I mean, yeah, Danny Phantom has ended or was cancelled years ago, about 10 years ago, and yet there is still a fan base for Danny Phantom, like Wobcake. She posts certain pictures on her DeviantArt page in a similar style as Butch Hartman, in a similar style to Danny Phantom. Yeah, Wobcake is uh, Wobcake is a fan of Danny Phantom, so she's made a couple of art pieces in the style of Danny Phantom. So it's one of those cases where even though a show has ended years ago or recently, the fan base for that thing is still alive and well. People are still making videos of the show, making new pictures of the show. So even if MLP ends, the fan base will hardly disappear out of thin air along with the show. So, let me see. Have you ever been to any UK theme parks? UK theme parks. I remember going to one or two years ago, but I really don't remember what they were. The only theme parks I can remember going to were American ones, like Universal Studios or Disney World, or oh, well, I remember when I was in college about 5 years ago. I remember going on a college trip to Paris, and we all went to Disneyland along with it. Um, First day we traveled to France and Paris, stayed in a hotel. The second day we all went to Disneyland Paris, and then the third day we traveled through the city of Paris with the Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, and everything, and heading back home. So I don't know much about UK theme parks, but Disneyland Paris and a few US ones, definitely remember going to those. I understand your opinions on the tweenies. Most episodes are rare nowadays. Well, actually, um, there were a large amount of tweenies episodes on uploaded to YouTube, um, a few months ago, but for some reason, the BBC has just now decided to take down most of those YouTube episode videos for copyright. Yeah, those YouTube uploads of Tweenies episodes were on for years, but the BBC has just now decided to take them down for copyright. And the only glimpses of full Tweenies episodes are separated into two parts, or um, just a few songs or live on stage performances and things. What song did you use at the beginning of the Naughty Rap? Okay, I am to assume that none of my subscribers have heard of Rod, Jane, and Freddy. The song I used in the beginning of the Naughty video, um, it was a song sung by Rod, Jane, and Freddy, and that song was used in a episode of the classic UK TV series Rainbow, the TV series Rainbow with Bungle, Zippy, and George. Um, the show features a group of singers called Rod, Jane, and Freddie, and the song used at the beginning of the Naughty video was a song by them. I decided to put it in because the song I found them singing from that episode, it matches quite closely to the situation I had with commenters on the previous um, TV show videos I made. So there you go. The final time I'm saying this, the song was from Rod, Jane, and Freddie. There you go. Joel Cartagena. Yesterday was my 19th birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday from yesterday. 19 years old. Yeah, it's really great on you. Have you ever heard of Tintin? Yeah, I have heard of it, but I haven't really watched or read much of Tintin. The only Tintin I have seen is the Tintin from Thunderbirds. Yeah, I know it's unrelated, but it's the same name. I mean, come on. Yeah, Tintin Carano. No, we're nearly been here for 90 minutes. Think I might wrap this up soon. Yeah, I think I need to rest. Have a shower tonight. Think I might have a shower in a minute. What do you think of the 50s Naughty series? From what I've seen of the 50s Naughty series, I've only seen a clip of it. I don't know what to make of it. And are you aware of the 1953 Thomas adaptation? Yes, I have. The first time I heard of it was when Diesel D199 mentioned that thing in one of his earliest Tomika Thomas and Friends shorts. Yeah, and I've heard more about it since then. The one where they were filming an adaptation of The Sad Story of Henry live on BBC TV, and there was a problem in production. The points on the tracks were set the wrong way, and the model came off the rails. And then on live TV, they saw a hand putting the model back on the tracks, and it became such a flop. Yeah, needless to say, that adaptation didn't go well. Luckily, the series that came 30 years later was a massive improvement. Have you ever watched The Amazing World of Gumball? Yeah, I have started to watch the series recently. Yeah, I really kind of like the sense of humor that show has. A magic hand? Or is Thomas in Smash Bros. Now? No, it's not Master Hand. It's just a hand of one of the people behind the 50s TV adaptation. They here was the engine that came off the rails. Here is the hand that put it back onto the rails. I think I'm going to have to end the stream. Yeah, we're nearly at 90 minutes, an hour and a half. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to tell you right now, the next video that's going to be uploaded to the channel, if we manage to reach the milestone until then, what I'm saying is, the next video that might be uploaded is the Lego Dimensions video I promoted last week, but only if we reach 50,000 subscribers quite recently. So, if not that, then once I finish production on that video, I might upload the next Pony Thoughts video, or a VHS thoughts on thing very similar to the Thomas season 7 DVD thing. I might do a VHS video similar to that one, but at the moment we'll have to wait and see what time does. So thanks to all of you 19 plus people for tuning into this. This was the first time I ever did a live stream, and hope it turned out well for you, and I'll see you later then.